Assalamu alaikum. This is Sumaya Flowers speaking to you from Pakistan. I've been asked to speak about the name of our channel, which is The Right Path. When I think of the right path, I think about Sirat al-Mustaqim, which we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for in every single salah. It's part of Fatiha. Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Show us the straight path. In the previous video, I mentioned that the straight path is also the balanced path. And one of the things we need to stay on the straight path is taqwa. And taqwa is another thing that requires balance because it means love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we're conscious of Allah, we want to please Him. And we also know that He's the most merciful, the most compassionate, the most loving. So we fall in love with Him and we want Him to, of course, be in love with us. So there's love, that's part of taqwa, and there's fear. The fear that comes from knowing if we displease Allah, there will certainly be serious consequences in our life here and in our life hereafter. So it's very important for us to educate ourselves about what is halal, what is haram, and what the gray areas are so that we stay on the straight path. Two of the Sahaba were talking. It was Hazrat Omar radiallahu anhu and Hazrat Ibn Ka'b. And Ibn Ka'b asked Omar about, they were talking about taqwa actually, the topic was taqwa, and Ibn Ka'b asked Omar, have you ever walked on a thorny path? And Omar replied, yes. And Ka'b said, so how do you walk on a thorny path? And Hazrat Omar replied, I would first gather all my loose clothing together. Of course, you know that they wore loose clothing like the men's jalabiyas they wear in the Middle East now, so something like that. Loose flowing robes, loose clothing. I would gather it all together and walk very carefully so that I didn't get stuck on any thorns. So if we think of life as that path, the straight path, but there are thorns on the side, and we can get easily caught on those thorns and commit wrongdoings and commit sins. So gather your Islam close to you in the sense of valuing it and caring about it and learning about it so that you can stay on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's straight path. Inshallah, we hope that this channel, The Right Path, will help us to all together to stay on that straight path. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.